Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Art Club with Rose and Art Space Life Space. It is currently 5 o'clock on a Monday afternoon for me when I'm recording this. I'm not sure where you are or what time it is, but welcome. We can be anywhere at any time, and we can do art wherever we want, pretty much with anything really. But today we're going to be using a biro and some paper. Okay, hopefully you will bear with me as I haven't done a live Zoom before, but hopefully all shall be extremely professional, and we can have a bit of fun and relax and unwind and create a doodle or two. It can be thrown away, it can be sent to a friend. We need basic materials: biro, pen, pencil, rubber if you happen to have one, paper, at least 6 bits. It can even be on old scraps, bit of recycling, an old envelope, and a photo to work from or a mirror. And you can do a portrait of yourself. Yeah, so let's look at a few portraits throughout history. Obviously, you have an extreme array of different styles. Some people go into town for their backgrounds. They can be surreal or as realistic as they like, creating atmospheres with colours, lines. Some might be an old painting that people have modernised by using new techniques or new colour ranges. Some people's are totally abstract. Some people's can be totally precise, like a photograph. Some people's could be made out of a load of vegetables. I always think it's lovely to be able to look back at a bit of art history and see what other people have done and get your head around a few different ideas and ultimately think anything goes. It's really nice to just think you are doing art just for exploration, to enjoy the process rather than always be set on the end result. So with that in mind, I hope you have some paper and a biro. Some of you might have a fancy biro with lots of different colours like me. You can use a pencil, anything. I just said a biro, so it's hopefully something we've all got to hand. Yeah, some people have obviously really mastered portraits and shading and proportions. I love drawings like this. I love the fact that you can still see it's drawn by pencil. You know, even though the face is very polished around the edges, it's still quite rough. And talking of rough, I'd like to loosen us all up with a picture that we're going to copy. So if you can grab your paper and your pen, and I'd like us to spend just under 5 minutes on this picture. So just go for it. Just like, so think you've got your possibly A4 page, fill the whole page, and get going now. It can be as rough as you like. Yeah, so this one is very loose, and it's almost as if the pen hasn't left the paper. You can see the more intense areas of the eyebrows or the eyes. This one, even one eye isn't that developed. It might be that you work faster and you might put more detail in. But yeah, just really try and imitate this one. I think it's a really nice activity to just see what you can actually develop by doing someone else's style sometimes. Just letting your eyes wander and your hand just relax and let loose. I often think that lots of people are very inhibited to do art because they think they can't, that it's rubbish, it'll go wrong. Whereas I always like to think that art is an exploration and it's not a photograph. If we wanted a photograph, we could just simply take one, especially in this day and age with us all with our phones and devices. So yeah, to really enjoy mark making. So much can be expressed with lines and squiggles and textures. The picture I showed before was obviously made up of little lines and a lot more neater, a lot more kind of softer gradients of shadings, whereas this one I'm getting you to copy is like squiggly, wild. So let's spend another minute on that. I've got my timer here. Think of the shape. What are you defining? Is there a certain part of the drawing that you want to bring out even more? You're going to give more detail into the lips. Is there going to be a really dark line in between the two lips where they're slightly open? You're going to get really intense little squiggles in those nostrils to make those really, really dark. And what about the pupils and the eyes? Can you make those even darker to shine through? And perhaps you'll keep it all loose. Okay, so bring that one down to an end. Do your last finishing touches on that. It's weird, I'm doing this video, but I'm not actually sure if you can see me or not, or if I'm just a voice. And talking of which, do feel free to put your music on. I'm sure most of you have got a nice little setup. Okay, so let's end that one. I found this lovely sketch of someone's. These are all just random images off internet. It's really nice pencil work here. Really enjoyed the marks. Okay, right, so now a new piece of paper, and we're going to do a traditional portrait, just to get your head round proportions. So a new piece of paper, and get yourself, so draw a nice kind of ovally head shape, possibly a pointy chin, possibly a square chin, it's up to you. If you've got a pencil, you can do the inner marks in pencil to rub out later, but if not, just do them in biro and don't worry about the lines. They can just be part of it, your structural drawing. So you've done your oval head shape, and then divide the head into half and then half again. And so the eyes fall on the half line. I'm just getting you to copy this. Excuse me. As is, it's you can do eyes simpler or more complex at a later date. It's just to get your head around the positioning. If you see that the eyes here, there's actually the same size of the eye in between the eyes, which is quite interesting proportion-wise. And then in the lower half, if you divide that in half again, and then you can draw the nose. It looks almost like kind of two eyes length, doesn't it? I don't know what the actual maths is of that one. Yeah, so get yourself a nice shaped nose. And then underneath the nose, if you divide that in half again, you've got the lip section. You can see the points of the lips are kind of underneath the nostrils, and the edge of the lips are kind of in the middle of the eye. If you drew a line down there, you can see the edge of the lips there. So yeah, I'm not exactly very keen on this drawing that I found on the internet of the nose. It's rather strange, but it's quite good to demonstrate. So Yeah, you can see that the forehead is actually a lot bigger than we imagine. And you can put hair on it or a hat or whatever you fancy. Also, obviously, on cartoons and such, they can exaggerate things. You know, you might do extra big eyes or tiny mouth or what have you. But yeah, it's quite interesting to look at the proportion of things. And I always think it's really funny as well because, you know, someone like Picasso obviously just totally went for it in his own in his own style, and really embraced wonkiness and playfulness. So even though I am giving you ideas of things to copy and work from, you can obviously ignore everything I say and do your own interpretation. And it's just quite good to be able to relate to different ways of approaching things. So for the main task today, I thought, let me stop the screen share a second. For the main task today, I thought we would work on a picture, or maybe you'd like to use a mirror if you've got a mirror. And we can spend about a quarter of an hour looking at ourselves or your photos. Yeah, really look at, you know, what shape is the inner eye. You can see a little ledge there. Really study what you're seeing. You know, is there shading? Is there, how are you going to represent that shading? And we're just going to be using fine lines and stuff, so you can really think about the different shapes, think what you see, what you can't see, negative space, positive space, what's behind. Is your picture going to be this big on the page? Is it going to be this big or bigger? Yeah, where's your head going to be? What's going to be in the background? Yeah, so I've got a little picture of my daughter. And up to you. You can either do the proportion dividing like we did. So we've got, here's me, you've got your half, and then another half in between that, and then another half in between that. Or you might go all Picasso-y and wonk it all up. It's up to you. I've got my timer on here, so I was thinking 15 minutes, and obviously this is Zoom and you can play around with time, unlike me who's in real time currently. So yeah, off you go. Use a picture of your choice. Hopefully you've prepared something, be it a photo or yeah, working from a mirror, or even you could click on yourself on this maybe. I'm not sure if you can do that, or if you can see me all the time. Or pull up a picture on your screen. Yeah, so yeah, think about the placement of your picture, put some music on, have a cup of tea, and then get drawing. Hopefully with influence of what we've been looking at, the proportion work, and also going back to the screen, also to the squiggly drawing that we did. So thinking about, yeah, using lots of lines and scribbles. So yeah, you can literally just go for it. You know, is the hairline, is there any definite shape on your picture, or is it all going to be loose marks? And then you're building it up. You're building it up, the intensities of the squiggles, where the darker areas are. Yeah, I've got to decide, do I do a drawing or do I stay in pose? I imagine you're not drawing me because you can draw your own muse. So I might be quiet for a little bit and do a little sketch myself. It's very good for relaxation, apparently. Be able to see my untidy levels of zoom. Beyond that way, it's all absolute messy. Well, mind you, this little bit's quite messy too. Quite messy, really. quite a lot of things in my possession. Yeah, so just really enjoy this time of sketching, really. I am actually going to do the measuring thing because I actually never do it normally. And so often it can work out fine, but it's a real bummer when you've spent ages doing loads of detail and then you kind of step back and you realise that actually the structure is all wrong. Obviously, someone like Picasso got away with it, and if you go wrong with confidence, I often think it does work out. Because as you know, art indeed is a strange old thing in terms of skill and acceptance, really. I often think it is Emperor's New Clothes. If someone says so and so is fantastic, and then lots of people follow. And obviously, we all have different tastes, so you might think yours is rubbish, and someone else thinks it's magnificent. You might want to print it on a coaster. As I've said before, it's quite nice to just do art for art's sake and not worry about where it's going. And I said to do the measuring, and then I haven't even been doing it properly myself. I wonder what you're doing. It's funny having no interaction. I'm even wondering if this is actually recording. I'll have to do the whole thing again. Hopefully not. It's quite nice, really, sat here talking to myself as if someone else is there. If you're sat there feeling like I'm with you, I hope you think I am with you, because I feel like I'm with you, and positive thoughts. We can connect through Zoom in this strange old time. Yeah, remember, I think the eyes are generally an eye width apart. How's the time going? Yeah, about 10 more minutes. Of course, if you do happen to finish and you really think about where is your picture, you're going to have a background. Is it going to be floating? The person got clothes? Or have you just a floating head? Try and put some other examples as well of some kind of different people's artwork that are using patterns, so a different way of using little lines and marks. Just another idea of how you could build yours up. And you can add doodles to it. Strange one of Steve Jobs. Computer imagery. And if you look at this one again, I really like that one, how it's all made up of marks. Hopefully that worked. I was just saying it's screen share, and then showing the green anyway. Yeah, that one I really like, how it's really made up of teeny little scribbly lines, kind of like cross hatching. So a lot more detailed than the other scribbly drawing I got you to copy. It's really shaped, the eyes and different kind of ins and outs. You know, I've said about doing a biro, and I've just picked up and carried on doing mine in pencil. So, as they say, art is often about breaking the rules. So, as you can see, I don't even listen to myself. I do love the quiet sound of a scribbling pen. I used to love it in my foundation art, where they'd give us a task, a focus, and then we'd like literally spend a whole day, if not a week, working on one drawing. We had to rub it out and carry on and build up layers and layers. It's amazing, devoting so much time to just one image. Trying to work out if it was finished, would it ever finish? Who is to say when a painting or drawing is finished? It's nice if you squint at your work as well sometimes. You can see the configuration that you're doing. Excuse me, yawning. I can't believe it's only a late autumnal early evening. And it's pitch black outside. Yeah, so the edge of the lips, and the centre of the eyes, really. Angel's looking. Are you pleased with it? Have you wanted to scribble all over it in annoyance? Are you surprising yourself at your squiggly drawing skills? And I was saying about doing it from a photo, but of course you could do it from real life if you're fortunate to have someone that's up for posing for you. The main thing of this is we're actually observing, we're actually looking and making observations of what's in front of us, what we can see, rather than relying on our imagination. Obviously, imagination can kick in and override, which is fine, which is part of the beauty of art. But I think there's a lot to be said about reality and actually observing it. And going back to my foundation again, they always said drawing is the backbone of art, really. And some people totally disagree, but yeah, for me, having a strong foundation in drawing has been pretty darn handy, actually. It's been many a pastime just having a little sketchbook in my bag if you're waiting for a train, or just a bit bored, sketch an idea or sketch what's in front of you. Unfortunately, since the smartphone, I've been doing that a lot less. But I would really like to get back into it. It's quite interesting as well, different timed things, you know, you might do something with a hour, 2 hours, 20 minutes, and not be that happy with it. And then suddenly you might do something in 5 minutes and surpass yourself. And yeah, it's interesting. So I don't think there's any set thing. Sometimes you can overwork something. Sometimes there's real beauty in the freshness of line. Time. Yeah, it's been on for 26 minutes. So yeah, I might say do last touches on this just so I can say bye to you guys. But obviously you can carry on. It might be your life work, you might never stop. Be a record breaker, drawer. Yeah, so it's quite nice to just do some dramatic kind of strokes towards the end to finish it off. Contextualize your picture, use the space. You might want to sign it so you can pop it on eBay straight away. There's my little sketch of my daughter. Not quite proportionate. I think there's a lot more squidgy, but we did a nice few little bits of shading here and there. Yeah, so yeah, so as I say, you can obviously carry on yours in your own time, and I hope you will do some more, because the world is your oyster and there's lots of things for you to look at and see and interpret in your own way. Yeah, we are doing a series of art workshops with Art Space Life Space. There'll be advertising, there'll be some places, and it's free, which is an extra bonus. We're doing weekly half-hour art sessions. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed having a sketch up, and I hope you do some more. And I would love to see what you've done. If you want to post it on the community section on the Facebook page or email, that'd be great. It'd be really lovely to see, no matter what you can do it anonymously, no matter how they turn out. Like I say, you might have done something that you think is absolutely rubbish, but someone else might actually think it's amazing, or vice versa. Yeah, so I shall stop my rabbiting for now and sign out, and I shall see you some other day or evening. Okay, lots of love from Bristol. Goodbye, one and all. Pause, stop recording. How do we get this on iCloud? I'm not sure. Stop recording. Stopping receiving. Stop recording. Okay, goodbye.